When you're looking for a new job, you focus on pay. What's the salary going to be? But how much do you value the job's benefits? Depending on your job, you could be saying, what benefits? I don't get any. And that's true for millions of private sector jobs, but it's one of the most appealing parts of the public sector, of getting a government job. A survey went out to 100,000 federal employees, and it asked, what are the top benefits? The top three were, number one, the Thrift Savings Plan, the TSP, number two, the pension, and number three, the FEHB, health benefits. The TSP is much like the 401k or the IRA. It's invested in financial markets. People go ahead and they set their contribution amount and it invests every time you get paid. Money goes in there. They set it, they wait 10, 20, 30 years, and then they hit the seven-figure club. This is usually done by investing in the C fund or the S fund or a combination of the two. It stands for Dow Jones and the S&P 500. It's like an index fund. There's no other way that these people would have such a high net worth right now if it was not for the TSP. Now, if you eventually would like to be a millionaire, if that's one of your ambitions, if that's one of your objectives, well, there's three main ways everyone can agree upon on how to become a millionaire. Number one is invest in a TSP or a 401k over many years. Number two is you start buying real estate. And number three is you start a business. Not everybody has the money to buy real estate, especially in this market. When you start a business, there's a high failure rate with that. But just about everybody can put a little bit of money into the index fund, into investing, a TSP, an IRA. This is not day trading. You're not trying to pick the next Apple stock or the next Nvidia stock. It's boring, it's simple, but it works. Okay, so with the federal pension, I'm surprised this was number two. I would have placed this as number one. This is money for you, for your retirement, that's not tied to the stock market. How many people can say that? They have reliable money coming in every month that's not tied to the stock market. So when do you receive this? Well, you're fully vested after 5 years. That's all it takes. 5 years working for the federal government. And you start drawing, most people, at 57 years old, 60, or 62. Now, you can draw it later than that and even earlier in certain circumstances. But there is no mandatory retirement age in federal government. You can work till your mid-70s, even your 80s. No one's going to force you out the door. Now, the exception to this is if you're a federal law enforcement officer. If you're in the CIA, FBI, special agents, investigator, things like that, there is a mandatory retirement age. That's 57. But if you're with the rest of the federal employees, there is none. And a lot of people call me, they're like, hey, is it too late? I'm in my 60s. Can I still get a government job? Yes, you can still be eligible. You can still qualify and get government jobs. And the average age of a federal employee in the government is higher than the private sector. So I believe you would face less age discrimination if you compete for a government job. All right, so let's talk about FEHB. About 66% of the people surveyed said that this benefit was either excellent or it was good. Now, this is a slight decline from last year. And one of the reasons why is because the premiums have jumped up. Now, the health benefits include health, dental, and vision. The government currently covers about 75% of your premiums up to a certain cap. As for what is the best plan for you, I have no idea because there are a total of 158 different plan options this year. There's also an option to carry your insurance into retirement. Another popular benefit is the paid parental leave program. This is a pretty new program. It was approved in October of 2020, but it allows you to take 12 full weeks of paid leave when it comes to the birth, adoption, or foster care of a child. This is for both the mother and the father. So younger employees are more excited about this, obviously. This is a huge benefit because 70 to 75% of private sector jobs, they have no such benefit. The lowest ranked benefit was DCFAS, which is dependent care. I think the reason why this was ranked lower is either people don't qualify it or people don't know about it. Because what you could do with this program, you can really save 30% of dependent care. This is for any kids you have under 13 years old. Also, if your spouse is unable to perform self-care, this can also go towards him or her. Of course, there are other benefits within the federal government, agency dependent, that you might not hear about. You have gyms there, you have wellness time, certain hours per week that you're able to step away from the computer, go on a walk, do something, yoga, exercise, meditation, whatever it is. You can also do training. So there's college courses they'll reimburse you. There's different technical options where you can get certifications and things like that. Many federal agencies in the government, they're short employees. They would love to hire more, especially medical professionals, IT people, cybersecurity, AI. You can tell this by the number of virtual events that are being hosted just about every week. And if you're not getting the list of virtual hiring events, sign up to the free newsletter down below. I'll push out a list every Thursday. When it comes to benefits, I don't think the federal agencies are doing a good enough job showcasing those benefits to attract talent. When you take a look at a job announcement, it immediately talks about duties, requirements, and qualifications. But it doesn't really sell you on the benefits, and that's a missed opportunity. I think that's a big mistake. People are looking at jobs, they're only looking at salaries, and they're completely dismissing anything else. And you don't really find out about the benefits unless you know somebody who has a government job. You strike up a conversation with them, and they go ahead and let you know, hey, did you know I have a pension? Did you know that my health care costs this amount of money per month? And then they get interested. That's not really the way it should work. It should work from the agency, the recruitment effort. It should have that within that effort. If you're interested in a federal government job, it starts and ends with your federal resume. And the chances are, if you're competing for federal jobs, you do not have enough detail in there. It is not who you know on the inside. It is not about your hiring preference. It really is about your resume. How good of a job is it doing communicating the value that you have? You know you have that value. You know what you achieved, but they do not. And the only way to bridge that gap is with that piece of paper. Now, if you're having a hard time constructing your federal resume and developing those success stories, and you want to see a great example on how it should look like in order to get it to a more competitive level, then check out some of the links in the description below. Before you start applying to government jobs, you should have an understanding of the hiring process. It's a little bit different than the private sector. From when you apply, get referred, the interview, accepting a job offer, and when you negotiate the salary. If you're interested in all of those steps, I want you to watch this video next. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.